Good morning, good afternoon, good night, my dears. Welcome to the Worldwide Podcast. And we are very excited for this country because it's the second country that actually three of us, we all speak Portuguese. And then we are happy to do this show for you guys in English. But it's going to be amazing talking about Macau, this region in the bottom of China. And we are having our guest, Carolina Sousa. But before introducing her, I just want to ask, how's Guilherme? How's it going, bro? I've heard that you've been in Brazil. How's it going, man?
So, how's it going, guys? I did just a small travel. I just went to this small country called Brazil. Not a
Uh,
big deal, nothing. Like a small town called Rio. Guys, it was amazing. Amazing. And even more amazing was to see, one of my best friends, João, right here. We hadn't seen each other in 3 to 4 years
four
in
years, yeah.
person, which is insane. Insane. Like since we started the podcast, we hadn't seen each other. So it was amazing, obviously to visit again like an ex-colony of Portugal, and to see all of the beautiful city, to speak a bit of Portuguese as well, because I've been in Chile for like 4 months speaking Spanish, which I love, but I also like speaking my language, so that was good. And to stay away from the cold, because oh
Yeah,
my
bro.
god, when I came back to Santiago and it was 7 degrees, I wanted to die. But those 2 weeks on the beach were good enough, so let's get into the podcast.
We have the
Guys, we
best
have
winter of the world.
quite literally no winter. Not even winter. It's like dry and wet season, probably
Yeah,
tropical
yeah.
tropical climate. My god, Brazil. I love it.
Just a name
So
to
guys,
mask off. Just to tell you the
quite
winter.
literally. Quite literally. So guys, we're going to talk about Macau, which
Woo!
the West probably doesn't even know what this country is, but the East, this country is big for the East because it's one of the richest countries ever, which is insane. Which is also known as like the Las Vegas of the East of Asia, of casinos, of gambling, of everything. And we're gonna talk about all that. But first, let us introduce our guest, Carolina. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited. And I'm very surprised that you guys already studied about Macau. Like, you
Oh,
know that Macau is like the mini Las Vegas.
oh, of course. I went deep. I
Yeah,
went deep. I remember what
that's what we
I
have to do here.
yeah. I remember even once when I was bored, like this was years ago. I was like just going through the ex colonies of Portugal, like Timor Leste and everything. And then I came about Macau and Go as well. But Macau, I was like, only like 7% of Portuguese people still live there, and then the rest is like all Chinese. But the streets are still in Portuguese. There's still
Yeah,
gastronomy, like
this is
Portuguese
crazy.
gastronomy there. There's still so much influence, but only
Yeah,
like 7% of Portuguese people still live there, or mixed Portuguese even, which is
yeah.
again you Macanese. You are our
Yes,
Macanese guest, which is fascinating. And for guests who don't know, and you will also be able to speak a little more, Macanese is half Portuguese, half Asian. Doesn't have to be Chinese,
yeah.
can be like other
Half
Asian
Thai.
countries. Exactly. So you'd be or half Portuguese, half Thai. So before we go into Macau, explain us what your background, ethnicity. So you're half Portuguese, half Thai. You live in Macau. Why? Talk to us. Explain it to me because I'm
Explain
fascinated.
Um,
you to us.
Explain it to
um,
me. Your
well,
family tree.
yeah, it was pretty interesting because my dad, he is actually Portuguese, but he went to Macau when he was very little. And then I think 20 years later, he met my mom here in Macau. And my mom is Thai. She's like pure Thai. So she doesn't speak English. She doesn't speak Portuguese, neither Chinese. So you can see how they communicate back then. So it's pretty fun that my dad, he learned English, and my mom also have to learn English and Chinese so they can communicate. And then
Really?
they had us. We are four sisters. Yeah.
Oh,
And we
That
also
is
have, yeah.
no, that's fascinating. Keep going, please.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we have family in Brazil. We have family in Goa. And then I don't know. And then I just did the DNA test. I don't know if you guys know. And I found out that I have Korean blood. So I have no idea. I'm just all over. the world.
All
Yeah,
over the world. All right.
all over the world. Yeah, and then here in Macau, actually, you speak Cantonese, you speak Portuguese, you speak English, and then also since this is like a very touristic place, we also have to speak Mandarin, and yeah, a lot of things actually. Macau's pretty fun.
Okay, so you
Oh,
you speak Portuguese perfectly with my accent. You speak English perfectly. How is your Thai and Cantonese? Because if you speak those two languages perfectly, I'm going to pass out. Please.
Okay, so I am fluent in Cantonese, and I
Oh
can
my
say that
god.
I am also very good, like professionally good in Mandarin as well. But Thai, I can only understand a few words because I never
mm,
really learned Thai. Yeah, just some words that just sometimes when my mom speaks in, at home, and then I'll catch some words, but I never really learned that. But I know how to order food, I know
all
how to
right.
negotiate in Thai, and all those things.
You know how to survive right there, right?
Yes.
Oh, the
Amazing.
Yes.
most important thing
Amazing.
is negotiating in Thailand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you know
I
how to
know,
do that,
right?
you're good. You're good.
Yeah, you just need to know how to say the numbers in Thai, and then plus the word cheap cheap, okay?
And
Yeah.
which language do
Good.
you speak with your mom?
Cantonese.
Cantonese. All right. So she
By the
has
way,
learned.
Hmm?
So she has learned Cantonese
yeah.
because before
Yes.
she used to
Yeah,
speak
because
only
she's
Thai.
been
Yeah.
she's been yeah, she's been in Macau for like 30 years, like
Ah, right. So
20,
big
30
deal.
plus
Yeah.
years.
All right.
Yeah, so she has to know. If not, we cannot communicate with her.
All right. Amazing.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
craziest thing to me is Cantonese is one of the hardest languages ever. Like because of
Yeah.
João, I'm addicted to a guy called Xiaoma. Xiaoma.
Shalom. He's the best.
He's a guy from New York and he learns languages and
Yeah.
his main language is Mandarin, but
Yeah.
he also
Mm-hmm.
speaks Cantonese fluently. And when he switches, it's a whole different language.
Yeah. It
It's more
sounds
different
totally different.
than French and Portuguese, which is pretty different. It's insane. And the fact
It is.
that you're fluent in Cantonese and you're also speaking Mandarin, why did you have to learn Mandarin? Because it's crazy. It's completely two different languages.
Yeah,
Why
well, why
Mandarin?
I have to learn Mandarin? It's because Macau is, we basically are in China. So a lot of tourists are from mainland China and they don't speak any languages other than Mandarin or maybe just a little bit of Cantonese and a little bit of
Mm.
English. So learning Mandarin will be a bonus
Yeah.
here. Yeah, and it's also better to communicate because Mandarin now it's actually like the first top speaking language in the world,
Yeah,
if I'm
the
not
main
wrong.
ones like
Yeah, the
English
main
in the
one.
East.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like English. So basically, yeah.
it's good to learn. In school, it's
Oh,
Cantonese.
actually, I studied in a Portuguese school. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
Escola
all right.
Portuguesa. Yeah.
All right.
So every week, I think we have like two classes of like 45 minutes of Mandarin. So we can either choose Mandarin or French. So I chose Mandarin because French
Okay.
is very easy to learn because I speak Portuguese. So I chose Mandarin as a
But
second
your
language to
easy,
but
learn.
easy.
your
Let's put it in
lessons your
quotes.
lessons
French is
were in
easy.
Portuguese.
Sorry?
Your lessons were in Portuguese in this
Yes.
in this school. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it is.
It's insane, right? Being in like bottom of China and people are
Yeah,
speaking
yeah.
Portuguese there.
That's crazy.
Which is
Yeah.
like I've looked
Go
at
on.
the ethnicity demography of Macau and it was like I don't remember the numbers, but I know it was less than 10% were like still Portuguese people or Portuguese like
Mm-hmm.
mixed. Do you
Mm.
usually speak Portuguese there or is it very
Yeah,
rare?
I
Like do
mean,
you with your
in the
friends
streets.
in the streets,
Oh,
whatever it is?
not really. Actually, here we speak more in Cantonese. So I only speak Portuguese with my friends here, like those who are like Portuguese. Because a
Mhm.
lot of my friends they came from Portugal and they studied here for like the high school. So just like maybe the last 3 years of high school, they studied here in Macau. And then after that,
They
yeah,
stayed
I
there?
only speak Portuguese with them. Yeah, some
Mm.
of them are still here, but a lot of them they left already. Yeah.
Are they
A lot
fully
of them
Portuguese? Are they fully
fully
Portuguese or
Portuguese, for
fully
fully
Portuguese?
Portuguese. Yeah. So a lot of them, they went back to like Lisbon, and then some of them are like in
Yeah.
England, in London. So pursuing their dreams,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for them to speak Cantonese, right? Like just go to
Yes.
Macau and all of a sudden, and
Yeah,
to
I
stay
have
there you
friends.
must speak Cantonese, so it's hard to
Yeah, I
stay.
have friends that have been in Macau for like more than, I don't know, 3, 4 years, and they still cannot speak Cantonese.
Yeah.
Maybe they know how to like order food in restaurant, but it's really bad. It's just so bad. Yeah,
Um,
but it's pretty
and,
fun here. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
and
Is
then there's
there
me.
anyone like you mean, that was born and raised right there? And is it your friend that is half Portuguese?
Oh, a lot. We
Yeah.
actually in Macau, we have so many people that are like half Portuguese and then half
Yeah.
Thai or half Filipino or half whatever. So there's
Filipino.
a lot of mixed people here. Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So Macau is basically like around
It's
the
like a
world.
melting pot. It's literally a melting pot.
Melting pot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. And like going to the also being an ex-colony from Portugal, me João was just like going on Street View on Google
Yeah.
Street View, and some shops are still in Portuguese like named.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing to me was the sidewalks, like the stones of the sidewalks, they're the same in Lisbon, like the color, the structure.
Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
the last time that you went to Lisbon, but like the color blue and white from those
Yes.
stones on the ground, they're absolutely the same. Like that's the thing that makes Portugal be Portugal. And he was just like on Street View and he was showing me, and it's completely the same. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Like how
it
they-
is. I feel like part of Macau, like part of some people, like some people, they still want to keep Macau as part of Portugal. But that's why a lot of places, if you're talking about the stores or the restaurants, some of them are still in Portuguese because they are from a long time ago already, so they kept it that way. But if you're talking about the newly established restaurants or stores, they're all in English right now. Yeah, and then I think the government here, they want to change to like a China,
Yeah.
Yes, but Macau citizen, like those that are like Portuguese, we don't want that. We wanted to maintain
Really?
us Portuguese. Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Still having
Yeah.
like the cultural aspect and some of the habits. Because I mean,
Yes.
obviously, like colonizing is bad, but sometimes like just embracing the traditions at least from the
Mhm.
countries, from the main country, I
Yeah.
guess. It's nice. I think.
yeah. If you look back at the old pictures of Macau, like those from like 90 or 80 something, you can see that a lot of Portuguese like statues
Influence,
or a lot of things are like in like Portugal is like Portugal. So a lot of, but now right now they, the statue of the Jorge Alvarez or whatever, if I'm not wrong. It's like the horseman. We used to have it there in the Macau site, but the government just destroyed it and he made it like a bus station. Yeah. So
Really?
yeah.
Did they just try to like having less things related to Portugal, like being more China and less Portugal?
I
Is that
feel
the-
like they just wanted to use the space because that space is like, Coimbra, right? In Portuguese,
Yeah.
Coimbra. They have like a statue right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
So
I know.
basically in
Unfortunately,
Macau, it has like a statue like that and it's like an empty space where people can just go there and take
Like a
pictures
plaza,
or just sit. Yeah, just to sit there by the stairs and to chill. So they kind of remove that and make it like a bus station.
Bus station,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very like China, because China takes like the smallest like cubicle that is empty and like let's put buildings in.
Yeah.
Let's
I
increase
know.
the
Let's create
PIB.
something for
More
people.
PIB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's peeps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's like called in English. I think it's the same actually. I think it's
Yeah,
PIB.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't say pib, but yeah.
The listeners are so confused. What the fuck is PIB? So when you start building things, I remember this
Yeah.
class when I was in 9th grade that China built a town which is now still a ghost town just to increase that Like
Oh
PIB.
fuck, PIB is GDP.
GDP.
GDP, yeah.
GDP. Okay, it's GDP.
Yeah.
GDP. And
I
the
have
town
no
is still
idea.
there. Absolutely empty. It's crazy.
What kind of town? Is it like the duplicate of Europe? Is it like that town?
I think it's a big mall. They wanted to make one of the biggest malls, but
Oh.
they did it somewhere and then they built like a town around the mall, but nobody went to live in it. I don't know how it is now because I just remember seeing this documentary. It was like in ninth grade, eighth
Oh.
grade. Many years have passed, so maybe it's occupied now. But back then,
Yeah.
China only did that to increase the GDP.
Mm.
I hope I'm saying everything right, but it's what I remember from eighth grade.
Well, I don't remember
Yeah.
anything from.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
I'm
what
really
I
bad.
dinner in 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Was still kept in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I do have one question. Just like also related to China and Macau. So Macau is not fully a country, it's an independent country like Hong Kong. So it has a different government, but it still
Yes.
kind of belongs to China. So what does do, what does that kind of mean? Does China like still have power with Macau? I guess like the profit that Macau makes still goes to China. It's a complicated
Well,
question, but I was just like thinking, what does that mean? 'Cause I
yeah.
was thinking about it like
To be honest, I am not really sure, but I feel like Macau, we still want to have the power to, to take care of some things. But of course, we belong to China now. But it's just that we don't really follow everything that they do.
Yeah,
Because we still have our own rules and government and all those things. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's okay this way. I really
Yeah.
feel like right now it's okay. Yeah.
I mean the good thing is that you can go to China without a visa and go in and go back. So
Yeah.
so that is good.
Because we have a permit to go over there without that we don't it doesn't require like a visa and everything. But for the tourists, like for Portuguese people who doesn't have the China permit, they have to apply for visa.
Mm.
All right, but
Mm.
your passport is Portuguese
Yeah,
or
That's what I was going to ask. How many passports do you have? You can have
or
like 5 passports if you want.
Macau
I have Macau passport. I have
Macau
Portuguese
passport.
passport.
All right, I see.
Yeah, and then I'm currently waiting for my Thai passport.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
So
flex,
yeah,
passport.
that's a thing, Macau passport, right? So yeah, you
Yeah.
actually have a Macau passport. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was also thinking about that.
Mhm.
So let's talk about how people in the West is like North America, Europe.
Mhm.
I mean Europe besides Portugal, I guess. Came about knowing about Macau. Have you seen like Shang-Chi, the Marvel movie? That was like the first time that I think I saw like representation of Macau.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
all
Oh.
In Hollywood. Yeah, maybe
yeah,
the first time.
in Hollywood, in mainstream media.
Yeah.
That and also Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It wasn't fully Macau, but it was like inspired by Macau, one of the towns. It was also like about casinos and all of that. But Shang-Chi was fully in Macau, and it was like obviously these bigger Las Vegas in Asia,
I
illegal
didn't know
fighting.
about that.
No, I think it
No.
was the only time that I heard or seen Macau be like represented, which was obviously I loved it, of course.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting representation because obviously, like I didn't see any of the Portuguese like looking streets. It was just like okay, casinos, gambling, illegal
Yeah.
fighting, all of
Actually,
this.
a lot of movies they filmed in Macau. Do you know Now You See Me? Like the magic thing, Now You See Me. They filmed
Yeah,
here
I
in
know this
Macau as
movie.
well.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it as well? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, they filmed here. Yeah, they
All
filmed
right.
here, and then they also filmed in Hong Kong. I feel like so. It's just like they filmed some part of Macau, and you can really recognize that. Wow, okay, that is in Macau. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this movie.
So
Mm-hmm.
good.
It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow. Also, just going is so again because of this movie. I think many people will just think that Macau is like casinos because I know it's where the main money comes from. It's the casinos because like I also saw some numbers and it makes like X amounts of time of Las Vegas. because also like it's the only place in China where gambling is legal, and I guess
Yes.
Chinese people are addicted to gambling because that money that I saw was insane. Wow,
Yes. Billions. I know. Yeah.
crazy shit.
So yeah, we are the only place that it's legal to gamble. So everybody from China, China is actually a very big country.
Here.
Like,
Yeah.
yes. And imagine they all come to Macau just for gambling. And then you can see how small Macau is. You just said that Brazil is small, but no, if you compare
He
Brazil and
was kidding. He was
Macau.
kidding.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Full
I
joking.
thought,
satire.
I
Hell
thought you
no.
were serious.
Are you
I thought
kidding
you were
me? That
serious.
shit is
My God,
massive. Oh my
it's
god.
massive. Yeah. And Macau is just like a tiny little dot. So, yeah, you can imagine the amount of people coming here to Macau like every day. It's crazy. Especially like since I work in a casino. I work in a retail store in casino that is
Oh,
called
so you
you work
actually
at a
Venetian.
work right there. Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
I work in Venetian, but I work in a retail store. Yeah,
All
that is
right.
not from casino. So Venetian, it's actually one of the most populated uh, hotels in Macau. I don't know if you search for it, but it's like a mini replica of
No.
Venice, Italy. Yeah.
Hmm.
So people are just there in Venetian every day. And for us, it's like nonstop. This is why we have to speak Mandarin and all
Mandarin.
those words.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why we have to speak all the languages. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
I don't know if
crazy.
you also search that. Like actually in Macau, we have a replica of London. We have a replica of Eiffel Tower, like the Paris, and then we have a
So
replica
who
of the
who
Venice.
who copied who? Was it Las Vegas who copied Macau or Macau who copied Vegas? Because I'm just listening to this and I'm like thinking,
Macau copied everything.
damn,
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
we have like and we the newest hotel that was built it's called Londoner. So you can see the Big
London.
Bang
Okay.
and the very
Okay.
famous station from UK. I don't know what's that name, but we have like a big
Mm,
Ben, and then
the one
also
from
we have
the
the
Harry Potter, the 9 3/4.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like.
I think so. And then you also have like the replica of the Eiffel Tower,
Oh,
which
fuck
is
it.
like a lot shorter than the
Yeah,
original one.
I just saw right here
Yeah.
on Google
Yeah, which is called
Images.
Parisian. Yeah, so Londoner, Parisian, and the Venetian.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
And a
work in
lot of
the
people
Venetian
like
Mall,
that.
right?
Yeah, I work in a Venetian mall. And they have like even they have the replica of the La Gondola, the river. If you can see in the pictures, which is like inside, it's like indoor. Well,
That's
if
why
it makes
Now You
if
See
it
Me
makes
was
money,
filmed right there.
yeah. Like if it makes money, then
This
sure, why
footage.
not, right?
Wow.
Man,
Amazing.
I truly think
I'm amazed.
gambling is probably the most profitable. Maybe oil, but still like the most profitable like industry. Because what the fuck? Imagine
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
I'm
people
just
are
imagining
addicted on
if
games.
like Mozambique started to, because Mozambique is probably one of the most poor like ex-colonies of Portugal, started like casinos there, and like people from I don't know from Arabic countries started going to Mozambique, then it would like expand crazy. Maybe
Oh
it's
my
like
god.
way to generate profit
Yes.
in a country. Just gamble. The
Yeah,
most immoral
Mozambique
thing
government,
ever.
take notes. Take notes.
Poor countries
My
just
god.
just build up casinos.
Yeah,
You
take
know,
some notes. Do that.
also what I remember, João, on our Belarus episode, did you
Yeah.
remember what our guest also said? That in Russia it was also illegal to gamble, and Belarus, because of that, they started building casinos, and people in
Yeah.
Russia started going to Belarus to play casinos, and Belarus made a huge profit out of it. It's also kind of like the same.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting for some reason.
Hmm.
Oh, so I can imagine because since you work in that mall and you work like close to the actual casino places, have you seen like something crazy happening, like meltdowns, like people just I want my money, but in Mandarin or
Oh,
Cantonese, something
I
like that.
mean, a lot of that. We have so many crazy stories in Macau. Yeah. Um, so we have people. I'm gonna give you an example that
Mm,
actually
please.
happened like few months ago. So there was actually this guest. He went to the casino to gamble. And then after that, I think he won some money. That's why he came to our store to shop. And then after that, I think he lost money again. So he came back and asked for a refund of everything. And a lot of these things happen. They just want money, come here, buy something. They lose the money. They come here, ask for a refund. And yeah, and then there are people, oh my God, I don't think you know this. There are people who are so like addicted and obsessed with gambling that they don't want to spend a dime to rent a hotel room. So they just sleep in the sofa in the Venetian Mall. Yeah, and then they just sleeps there on the bench where people can just sit there for a rest.
Yeah,
They just
yeah,
sleeps there. And then a lot of them they sleeps in the Starbucks because Starbucks is 24 hours. So they just buy a drink and they just sleeps in the Starbucks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
That's why
they're
this
crazy, yeah.
industry makes money because people are just addicted off.
Yeah.
So
They are.
that's
It's
why
I'm
crazy.
scary afraid
they
of
make
gambling.
money.
The only time that I gambled was in Pokemon when I was 8 years old, and that was
Yeah,
the only
bro.
time.
I'm fucking
Pokemon
afraid of
Silver,
it.
Pokemon Silver, only
Oh
time
my God.
with the little slot machines, and they took that out of the game because they were like, kids are gonna get addicted to this shit, and I imagine I didn't because I got the willpower, but some people don't got the willpower.
Good for
They got addicted
you.
in
For you.
Pokemon. Now they're in Macau, sleeping in benches and in Starbucks.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Damn.
And then a lot of them they just don't go home. They just don't sleep. Maybe they will play in the machine for like 24 hours. They don't leave the chair or anything. And then there are a lot of news in, I don't know where was those news. I think it was in Macau or in Hong Kong. I don't even remember. There was like this lady that was playing on a machine that she just peed on the chair. Like, because she doesn't care. She was sitting there playing on the machine and then she was just peeing. It's disgusting. So
Yeah.
people are really that crazy. Yeah.
Damn. And I
Yep.
only like and I only thought that like Chinese people would only play like domino, and now maybe they do
Mm-mm.
only in China, and once they get to Macau, they're like, oh, casinos, let's do it. No more dominoes. I don't know why dominoes is like,
Bro, they just
The only
they
time
just
in
go
media-
straight right there to gamble.
do you know like in movies in the US when there's like a Chinese restaurant and in the back there's like an illegal casino, the Chinese
Oh,
people are
yeah.
only playing domino. It's the only thing that they're playing. I don't know if this is true, but
Now I
think-
understand what you mean by domino. Is it like
Yeah,
the
it's like-
mahjong? The
Mm.
mahjong.
No, kind of.
I'm gonna take it. Oh no,
It's
no,
like-
no! It's not the mahjong. No,
It's
Yeah,
not
it's the
mahjong.
same
No?
way. It's the same way that you're thinking of, but do you know those pieces with kind of dots?
The
No,
black
let's say
ones.
the black ones, yeah, with dots.
That is from wait. I thought that is like a Western thing. No?
might be.
could be.
I thought
And I'm
yeah.
just saying, anytime that I see those backs of the Chinese restaurants illegal gambling in movies, it's always domino. It's like the Chinese people playing it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a stereotape, but
It's actually
kinda
true.
funny.
Like it's actually a real thing before. Like, but now it's like all illegal.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I used to love that
Yeah.
game. Now I probably don't even know how to play it. The dominoes. And it's back in my
I
mind.
still
Just
love
can't do
it.
it.
I
It's so
never played
weird.
domino.
It's such a weird game. That's why I think I liked it. So weird.
Hmm.
But again, it's like good for gambling. It is what it is. I guess.
It's what it is.
It's crazy
My
because I
motto.
just type it. I just type dominoes on Google,
Oh, yeah,
and they just
you'll only
show in
get,
the
like,
pizza place.
The franchise of the
Yeah,
pizza.
the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get the
And they're on
Google
China.
thing.
I've typed in Domino's China, and still they're there. The pizza place is there.
No, I think I think now they don't do dominoes anymore. Now they do mahjong, and mahjong is
Mahjong, yeah.
pretty famous in Asia. Yeah. Everywhere, everyone knows how to play mahjong.
Ah, it's this. Oh yeah, it's like kind of a it looks little like that.
The same concept, but the game
It has
is
like
different.
hieroglyphics or something,
Mhm,
whatever that
yeah.
is.
It's
It sounds like
beautiful.
Cantonese.
The
and
game
I'm
is
saying it's
beautiful.
like hieroglyphics. Oh my god. The biggest insult I said once to a girl was like she was from Georgia, in Georgia the country, and she showed me like her 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 vocabulary, like her words, and they literally are hieroglyphics. They're figures. One looked like the bird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why I remember this, but I just wanted to share it.
yeah,
Okay.
little dots, Chinese characters, and then
Yeah, everything.
birds. Yeah, a lot of things.
Man, I respect all of the fully Portuguese people that go to Macau and learn Cantonese because I feel so fulfilled of like dominating Spanish and it's like literally the same as Portuguese. I would
No,
have an
actually,
ego.
it's not.
Yeah, okay,
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
but
not, but
Spanish.
we're talking
No,
about
because
Cantonese.
yeah,
oh yeah, but
We're
Spanish
about
people they don't
Cantonese.
understand Portuguese. Yeah,
No, they
yeah.
don't.
But we
Not
do
even.
understand them, so
Yeah.
yeah, we understand them, but they don't understand us.
yeah.
Oh, you know, actually, same thing with Cantonese and Mandarin. So Cantonese speaker can understand Mandarin, but Mandarin doesn't understand Cantonese.
Mm,
Mm.
okay.
That is
Mm.
interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah, because actually Cantonese they have like 9 different tones, while Mandarin only have like 5 tones.
Because like Cantonese is like a harder Mandarin in a way, right? It's like it's the base language
Mm,
is Mandarin, but then they like switch it up. Kind of. I don't
I
know.
don't know because
Probably
for
not.
me, I don't find it hard like
Oh.
Cantonese. I feel like because that's also kind of one of my first languages, so I feel like it's pretty easy.
Pretty
Like
natural for
speaking,
you.
yeah. So it's
If you
very
ask like a
easy. It's like
European whether
speaking.
they prefer to learn Mandarin or Cantonese, they'll say the answer. It's
Yeah,
definitely Mandarin, I think.
yeah. Actually, a lot of the people who never learn Chinese, they think that Cantonese and Mandarin are the worst. Yeah, so they would rather choose like English or French or other languages rather than like Chinese. But it's actually, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And also there's Funkanese. Funkanese, is it like too far away from? I hope I'm saying it right.
What is
Funkanese.
that?
It's like another language in China, but it's like more further away. Yeah, but Joe is like doing the search, but it starts with an F. I don't know. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's like Funkanese. I'm
Is it like a
100%
dialect?
Might be.
maybe. I remember because of the Shama,
Can
one of
even
his videos, he was
right.
speaking Funkanese, but it was just like a
Yeah, I know what
Is it
you're
like a
saying about.
dialect or
Yeah, no, actually, it is a
I,
language from a village in China.
yeah, it could be like a very small village. I just don't know.
okay?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is a
I
small village.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. So actually different places in China they have their own I we call it dialect. So for example, if you're in for example, Shanghai people, they have their own Mandarin. And then
Mm.
Fujian people, they have their own Mandarin, which is different that we don't understand. Oh wait, can you hear my dog?
No, no, no.
No, we cannot.
No? Okay, because she's playing crazy.
Also, my dog is already snoring. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
fucking
want to go to
snoring right
sleep.
here.
Okay, but going back to that, yeah, every place in China they have their own dialect, their own Mandarin that other people don't understand.
Hong Kong, it's Cantonese, right?
Hong Kong is Cantonese, but actually Hong Kong and Macau Cantonese is also a little bit different, just a little bit. For example, if we say you, it's like lei or nei, just those things. I think so. I'm not. Yeah.
Amazing.
And also, like, it must be kind of nice to have like Hong Kong next to you because you can just like hop off and hop on like Hong Kong super easily. I mean, near you, I could see on the map. Maybe it's far away, but it's like maybe São Paulo Rio distance. It's like not that.
No, it's actually it's not that far. So before, so I don't know if you guys know, they have built the longest bridge in the world, which is called the Hong Kong Macau Zhuhai Bridge. I don't know how many kilometers that, but that bridge you can go from Macau to Hong Kong in less than an hour by bus or by car, and you can go to China in, I don't know, less than 30 minutes or what. So before, when we go to Hong Kong, we need to take the ferry, which is like an hour plus. And for me, it's actually very bad because I get seasick. But now that they have the bridge, it's really good. Even though it's pretty far, because the moment you land in Hong Kong, it's by the airport. And if you need to go to the central, then you need to, take another MTR or take taxi or whatever transportation, and it's kind of far. But that bridge, I think
this bridge is
yeah, you
huge.
guys can.
It's fucking
It
huge.
is.
Wow.
It is. And it's really good because even though with typhoon, I think it can, because we have bridges in Macau that when there's typhoon, they need to close. And some bridges can only handle typhoon that is like above 8 or maybe maximum 10 or 11. But that Hong
Typhoon
Kong
is
Zhuhai bridge,
high
typhoon is like
tide.
Tufeng. It's like a tropical
Okay.
typhoon. It's like it's like a storm or whatever you call that. But that Hong Kong Zhuhai bridge actually can reach until typhoon number 14, or
Wow.
yeah, which is pretty good. We never really went that
55
far.
kilometers.
55 kilometers.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
Rio's bridge was along 13, right?
Yeah, 13.
13, and it was already huge.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Bro,
55
55 kilometers. That means almost an hour in a bridge, traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you look closely, there's like a part which is like around 5 to 10 minutes by car, which is underwater. If you look at the whole bridge, there's a part that it disappears because you go underwater.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's why I can't see a piece of bridge right here because it's underwater. Oh, wow.
Man, China's built
Those
different.
countries got money, right?
China is insane.
Bro.
Like these places, it's crazy because like Europeans and Americans, they think they got like the craziest infrastructure, like they're the biggest on top because of media, right? But then you've got like countries like Singapore and Macau, Hong Kong, China. They're so evolved, but they're not like portrayed in the mainstream media, so people don't know.
Yeah.
So it's
we like to keep things, low key.
Okay.
Low key.
Like the government, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's talk actually now about the food, because that was also another thing that I was quite fascinated, like the mix, right, of Portuguese and South China.
Oh my God. Yes. So food in Macau, you can find whatever food you want in Macau. And you have a mix of Portuguese with Macanese fusion, Western, and then you have like Thai food, Shanghai food, and then you have like Vietnamese food. Whatever food you want, you can find here in Macau. And yeah, so if you're talking about something like some dish that only Macau has, it's like we call it minchi, which is like minchi. You can search in Google.
I saw
minchi.
A picture before. I understand the influence with Portuguese in China because it looks very Portuguese, but it also has that little influence of China and all that East culture.
Because of the rice.
And because of the egg, because usually the eggs from Asia, they're a little bit different, but that looks like like a fried egg from bitok, like in Portugal, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, bitok. Yeah, actually, a lot of what I say. So in Macau, actually, a lot of food that you can only find it in Macau. For example, like I don't know if you know, like bichu bichu. It's like a Christmas biscuit. No, you know about that? No, it's like I think it's bichu bichu. You don't know that? It's like a Christmas cookie. Yeah, I think you can search in Google as well. It's like I think you can only find that in Macau. Yeah, and then a lot of food that you can only find that in Macau.
Do you guys have pastel de nata there? I'm sure
we do. Oh my God, we do. And then we have this place called like Lord Stowe, which is every day if there's like tourists, it's lines and lines just to buy the pastel de nata.
Wow, amazing. Do they speak Portuguese there? I mean,
no.
no. I just
No,
really interested on it, like going to
it's
shops
really
and
no,
speaking Portuguese.
it's really rare
Yeah,
to
right,
find
right.
someone who speaks Portuguese in Macau. Yeah.
You
And
don't
then a
even
lot of
find it
them,
in those stores like with old people,
no, actually
of
no.
I
Yeah,
actually picturing this like traveling to
but
Macau and
maybe if
trying to speak
the
in Portuguese. Yeah, it's
no,
really
Yeah.
maybe the more like elder people, for
yeah.
example, like 50 something, 40 something, if you find them in like the hospitals or like the medical centers, they speak Portuguese, or in the maybe like the police department or like the government jobs, a lot of them they speak
Really?
Portuguese. Yeah, but if you're talking about like, because in Macau, for you to work for the government, you are required to know Portuguese.
Oh,
Wow. That's pretty interesting
Yeah.
actually.
what?
Wow. So
Hmm.
you're just getting
Yeah.
information at the street and then they ask you for a policeman or kind of stuff they have to
No,
answer them in
actually,
Portuguese?
not. I feel like they only need to know that so they
All
can
right.
pass the exam or something like that. But
Okay.
if you ask them, do you speak Portuguese? I don't think they
They,
speak
all
Portuguese.
right.
Yeah, because I also have a lot of friends and colleagues who they have like fluent Portuguese name, like for example, whole like first name and last name all in Portuguese, but they don't speak a word in Portuguese.
Like even the street
Yeah.
names there, right? Sure. All in
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese. Lots of streets are in
That's
Portuguese.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's not that crazy because I met like Americans, their parents are fully Mexican. They were born in the US, they don't speak Spanish. I'm like,
Oh.
what? I don't I just don't understand because like at home, I think they would speak Spanish, but they don't
Mm.
speak a word in Spanish. I'll never forget. This
Yeah,
girl, both her parents were from El Salvador. She was just born in the US, but her parents like came older, like into the country. Didn't speak a word of Spanish. I was like, how is this possible? That is crazy to me.
But do they
And
understand Spanish?
nothing. They literally
Oh.
look fully Mexican. The girl looked like she was straight up of El Salvador. She was just born in the US, and I guess I don't know, she just never wanted to learn Spanish. I'm sure like also like
yeah,
from
it
China,
happens.
some Chinese people that are born like in the US, their parents came like even older into the US, but their kids don't speak any Mandarin or Cantonese or Funkanese.
Mm-hmm.
Birds too, I mean, they, I guess,
My favorite language, Funkanese.
yeah, but I guess they do speak Chinese right there in the States. It happens a lot with Latin countries right there. Do you know this guy, Shawn
Mm.
Mendes? He's actually half Portuguese, but he doesn't speak a word in Portuguese. You know, the singer,
Who?
Who is that?
Shawn Mendes?
Oh, Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Oh
Shawn
my
actually
Mendes is
god,
half
my
half
Portuguese, really?
Portuguese. Yeah.
he is half Portuguese and he is
Yeah,
I
my
didn't know.
husband. I'm jokes.
yeah.
Damn, I
Yeah,
didn't
he
know.
Yeah.
cannot speak Portuguese. I guess it happens a
Yeah.
lot in Canada and in the United States. They just
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah,
keep, the mother language right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, probably the media as well. Mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Carolina, I mean, there is a topic that I'm actually very curious of, because here in the West, we do, when we meet someone from the East, that looks like Oriental, let's say, like at school and kind of stuff, we kind of we don't treat different, but we want to know lots of, the background of the person. I mean, right here in
Yeah.
Brazil, it's like this. We have lots of Japanese, like in the column of Japanese right here, and they all speak Japanese, and it's amazing to know about the culture and kind of stuff. And how was the reaction, like the opposite reaction right there in the East? For example, when you go to the street when you were a kid, like you were totally different. You look different than your friends, let's
Mm.
say. And how was their reaction from you of you like being different than them?
So you're talking about here in Macau or
Yeah, they're in
outside?
Macau. Yeah, they're in Macau.
Here in Macau.
When you were
Okay.
raised with your friends right there, your Chinese friends, let's say, or Macanese friends, but they
But
do
Okay.
but
So
only
there's
Cantonese, let's say.
go. I was just gonna say, for me, you look very Thai, because I see the
Mm.
resemblance. I remember when I first saw your picture, like she literally looks half Thai, without me knowing that you were Thai. It was insane. Like it looks like I'm
Oh.
making this
Yeah,
up, but I kind of saw that because it was the same with our guest, right? Our guest from Thailand, she was
Yeah.
also half Thai, half English, and I kind of see that as well a little bit.
Yeah, I
Um,
can see, but still, like you could be Brazilian. Let's say if you show up right here at my place, like you
So
could say that
yeah.
you're
that
Brazilian. Yeah,
So actually, so for Western people, I am actually an Asian. But in Macau, in Asia, I'm actually a Western people because I don't fully look like Asian. So it's so growing up here, it's very interesting because you have that Portuguese culture where you meet someone and then you need to give them kisses on the cheeks, or
Two
and then
kisses
when you say
even.
goodbye, yeah, you also do that, and then but for the Chinese people, I remember there was a time where I met someone for the first time, like because I graduated high school and then I started in a company in a like an office job, and then there was times that I was trying to and then I went for them and they'll be like, oh, what, and I was like, oh, I'm
Mm.
sorry,
That kind.
like I'm so used to it, like and then I just do like handshake, like hi, but we were very like hug and kisses and all those things. And then I remember that even before, when Macau doesn't have that much like mixed people like me who speak Chinese. So when it was like, I think maybe like 10 years ago, when a lot of people of Macau doesn't know that we can speak Chinese. So everywhere you go, they will just speak in English with you. Like when you go to McDonald's and they'll just be like, "Oh, what do you want?" And you just start speaking
Switch
Cantonese,
to
and they'll be
Cantonese.
like, "Oh my God, you speak Cantonese," like that. But right now, it's so common that people are just like, "Oh, what do you want?" But in Chinese, and you just reply them in Chinese, and they'll be like, "Okay, yeah." Just for now, it's just so common, just so normal. But it's like compared to 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh my God, you speak Chinese. You don't look like Chinese," and and all those things. So yeah, and then also, like I said, in like for if I'm in Europe, they will consider me as a Asian people, so they would just speak with me like in English as well. But when I start
I,
speaking in
I would
Portuguese
say
like
that, yeah.
fluently, they would be like, "Oh my God, wow, you speak really good Portuguese." And I was like, "Yeah, I told you I'm Portuguese. I just don't look like Portuguese." Yeah, so
Amazing.
it's like a very different thing. Yeah,
I'm sure if you went to Portugal, like to the south, and I introduced you to my friends, they wouldn't think you'd be Portuguese, because
yeah, I know.
you do have, yeah, you have that Asian mix, which is, yeah, very
Yeah,
fascinating.
because I look more like an Asian than Portuguese. But
I would say
in
that
the
as well.
family, but in four, because I have three sisters, right? So four of us, I am the one who looks more Portuguese. Yeah. So you can
Yeah.
imagine, like, yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That I'm thinking,
amazing.
yeah.
But you for like you have Portuguese names or
Yeah,
your
we do.
sister name?
We
Yeah,
do.
we all okay.
Maria, Catarina, Teresa, Carolina. Yeah, we
All
do.
right.
Not even
Yeah.
one Thai name, just one,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
youngest.
we.
The youngest
Oh
kid to
no,
get
no,
a
no.
Thai name.
So actually,
Oh, you're the youngest.
all three of them, they have like a Chinese. They have like a Thai surname.
Okay.
Yeah, which is my mom's. I don't have it. I don't know why.
All right. But your
Yeah.
mom didn't want to, with your dad, like, hey, let's have at
Let
least
me just have
one
one,
Chinese,
please, just
yeah,
one
Chinese name. Yeah,
that
give me
has a
at
Thai
least
name.
one. And your dad was
Wait,
like, nah, no, we are have
I don't
Portuguese
know, but
names.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one who has like a full-on Portuguese name. They have like Portuguese mixed Thai, and then some of I don't know what words it's that. So yeah, but but interesting thing is that all of us we have our own Chinese name
Mm,
What?
because for us to have the China permit, like the visa thing, but for us we call it permit. We need to have a Chinese name.
They change it?
No, they don't change it. It's just that in the ID card, it's in Chinese name. So we have to have a Chinese name,
Mhm.
which is completely different from my name, which is
I can
completely
imagine.
different from Carolina. Yeah.
what is your
Yeah.
Chinese
Well,
name?
yeah, well, what is it?
Oh, okay. So my surname is Sousa, right?
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
Chinese, we need to use the So. So my surname will be
Yeah.
So, and then Mei Ling. So Mei Ling.
So many.
Someling.
Yeah. So in
Okay.
Mandarin, it's Su Mei Ling. Yeah.
Almost a
I,
sommelier. Like she likes
Sommelier.
wine.
Ooh. But yeah, so we all have a very different Chinese name. So if you ask us, oh, is your name like similar to your Portuguese name? Because some people they just translate that. For example,
Mm,
Maria. Some people would just translate to Maria. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah, but we have like completely different
it's like
names.
yeah. What I also do here, normally people call me Guillermo or Guillermo
Hmm? Yeah.
instead of Guillermo, just because it's so much easier to pronounce. And I actually kind of like it. I don't know. I've
Oh.
embraced it. Sometimes I don't even
Ooh.
like Guillermo. I like it. I don't know. My Spanish name,
Guillermo.
Guillermo.
Sí, Guillermo.
I love it. Like you were talking about something. The saying hello to an Asian person, like they don't like kisses and everything. Here in South America,
Mm.
it's completely the opposite. They will like kiss you in the mouth for sure. They will like
Oh.
hug you. It's like papi, amor, te
Yeah,
quiero,
that's
literally like
Latino,
that.
man.
Wow.
Let's get it.
So me being living in Macau, I'd feel like very what do I do now? Do I just do again the handshake? Because then I want
Yeah.
to greet
Yeah,
people like
handshakes, bro.
here in like South America, maybe even the Portuguese way to kisses. So I'm sure for that it's so much different, like the Portuguese culture and again the this
It
Eastern
is.
culture of
Yeah.
Asia, not
Yeah,
being able
because
to do that.
Asians are more, how do we say, like
Mhm.
preserve.
Yeah,
Like they're more close, and then they're not so. But I feel like because also the culture here in Asia is very, how do we say, they are not very like touchy or all those things. So a lot of
yeah.
things that we do, we have to really think it through. Like, oh,
Mm.
so do I hug or do I give kisses or maybe just a handshake or maybe just like waving? Because
Wait, like a
yeah,
Sims. Like
Like
yeah,
the
a
Sims.
because no, because for example, like if I go out with my friends, with my like Portuguese friends, if they introduce me to another Portuguese friend, then you will go like, oh hi, then you go there for kisses. Oh, I'm Carolina, da 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 da, like that. But if my Chinese friends, if they introduce me to another Chinese friends, and then I will have to, oh hi, how are you? And you just stood there and wave.
like a
Okay,
Sims. I
I'm
love that.
Carolina.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so it's completely different. So you really need to think it through. Like, should
Mm.
I go? Should I not go? Or should I just wave or handshake? Yeah. So it's
That's pretty interesting. Macau is a melting
yeah,
pot. It's a melting pot.
It is.
yeah.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's for me there's just tons of benefits of being a melting pot because I lived in South Africa and it's a complete melting pot as well. So many culture in
Mm.
that country, and you're talking about the restaurants, right? I could eat food from Ethiopia, Eritrea, Uganda, you name it, any African country I could eat there in South Africa, and even Portuguese restaurants, which is crazy enough.
Wow.
Um, and I just love that because here in Chile, like especially like the food, it's rare for me to be able to eat other countries' food. I mean, here maybe there's obviously like a few Peruvian, Ecuadorian restaurants, but it's still kind of hard. I want that melting pot again of like being able to just see someone on the street that's like from a whole different other country and like background and mixed and all that. So
Mm.
so I love the melting pot aspect of countries
Yeah,
and cultures.
so true.
So stop barriers, build bridges, like the one from Macau to Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a
Yeah.
huge one. It's a huge one.
If it is what it takes to build a melting pot, let's do it. Let's do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just
So
just
I'm
one more
actually
thing. Go,
yeah.
go, go.
No, I'm actually I have one question. Do you guys know about hot pot? It's like a dish in Chinese culture. It's called hot pot. Do you guys know about it or ever heard of it?
Yeah, I
Hot
know
pot?
what
Is it like
hot
a
pot
stew?
is.
Have you ever tried hot pot or do you know what that is? Like
I have
Guillermo?
no idea what it is.
Because
Let me.
no. Okay, so hot pot is actually basically a pot where there's like boiling water or boiling soup, and then you just cook the things there on in the soup, and then you just eat it. So basically, you put raw food inside, and then it cooks it, and then you eat it from the pot right away. So it's like you put the pot in the middle of the table with all of your friends, and then you all just put like raw food inside, cook it, and just eat it from the pot.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like a stew, but no, that's not a stew. That's like
No.
just like a completely different thing.
Yeah. So how do you know, Zhuang? Like, how do you know about the hot pot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
just
how did you
because
know
a
that?
movie, I really like to watch movies from all around the world. and I've heard, I've watched one Chinese movie that they were eating hot pots.
Yeah.
It's actually very
Yeah.
common shit right there in China, right?
Yeah, because I have friends
Yeah.
that is from like Europe and from like America. And then when I brought them to hot pot, they were like, "Wait, do we just put
Disgusting.
the meat there? Like just cook it and we just eat it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's basically what you do in the kitchen, but you
Sure.
have it right in front of you." It was like, and he was like, "No, but we put things there and we cook it and then we drink the soup as well." I was like, "Yeah." So it's pretty weird for them.
But
But
you
it's
use
very
this
famous.
for vegetables and also meat, right?
Everything, whatever you
yeah.
can think of that you want to cook, you put it there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, first thing when I
Pretty
go to Macau,
interesting.
hot pot with
Okay, come
Macau
find me. I'll
mechanism.
bring you to the best hot pot.
Please,
Amazing.
please.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you was actually, I'm interested. Do you go often to Thailand to go to your mom's like hometown, and Portugal to go to your dad's
Yes.
hometown?
Yeah. Yes. Because my mom, she lives in Thailand. So my parents are divorced. So my mom, she's living in Thailand with her
Okay.
husband. And then every year I would go to Thailand to visit her. And then my dad, he's actually living in China right now. He's with his wife. So they have their own business in China. Yeah. So in Macau, it's just four of us, the sisters, but we all live separately. We all live in different houses. Yeah. So I would go twice a year to Thailand just to visit my mom because we always go to the same place because my mom lives in Chiang Rai. But Chiang Rai is so big that, and then also it's only like 3 hours drive from Chiang Mai or to any other cities. So basically you can do like a road trip in Thailand as well. So it's pretty fun. And then Portugal, I don't really go back to Portugal. Last time I went there was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
because
a
the
long
flight
time.
because the flight tickets are expensive,
crazy
and then
expensive, I can
everything there is so expensive. So
Yeah.
one trip in Portugal, I can go like 4 or 5 times to Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your dad is not there, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
you
doesn't
don't
even
have
make sense.
any
Does he
Yeah,
have
I only
like
have-
goal for going there.
a
Right
home?
now, I only have like cousins there. Yeah,
Okay.
cousins and my uncle. Yeah, we have like a house there, but it's pretty far. It's like in the village. Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah,
is it in the north
yeah.
or?
Where is it in Portugal?
Laranjeiras? Is it like in
Laranjeiras.
Lisbon? I don't know. But
Is a place
That's a
right
very
here in
common
Rio.
name. That's one of the most common names in streets in Portugal, Laranjeiras.
yeah, but it's like
I know like three streets
it's
called
like
Laranjeiras in the south, so you can imagine the
Really?
whole of Portugal.
Laranjeiras. Yeah. So I feel like it's a village that's pretty far because you have to drive like 2 hours to go to the city, of 3 hours to go to the
I can see, I
continente
know.
or something like that. Yeah, just to shop for groceries. So it's pretty far.
Okay.
Yeah. I just put like the name Laranjeiras and it's like so many like red dots on Google Maps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Laranjeiras, they show me a place close to Spain, actually, in the border
Oh,
of
I
mean,
Portugal and Spain.
Close to Spain
If
is like
I'm-
that's everything
Yeah.
of Portugal.
if I'm not wrong, I feel like
in the border.
I feel like my house is close to Castelo Branco. Not so
Oh.
close, but it's
okay.
like a
Yeah.
driving distance from Castelo Branco.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's amazing.
So
Covilhã
Yeah.
is one of my favorite cities in Portugal, and it's like also
Mm.
next to Castelo Branco. Fucking amazing. Like it's very
Yeah.
interior. It's next to Serra da Estrela, the biggest peak in
Mhm,
Portugal,
mhm.
and it has like the best student culture, and it's super beautiful. Now it's way more evolved because there's incentives for people to go there to study.
Ah.
But yeah, I just find it interesting because I remember once I talked with also this was in South Africa. It was also someone whose parents were from Portugal, and they were from Covilhã or some city next to
Mm.
Castelo Branco or something. And I don't know, that made me curious. Like usually, it's Porto, Lisbon, whatever,
Yeah.
and it was like
Mm.
Covilhã. I like that.
Amazing.
So yeah,
I never
I
been
like that
there.
you don't. Yeah, you should. Now I know.
You should
After
definitely
10 years, when you go back to Portugal, you go to your cousin's place next to Castelo Branco, and then you go to
Yeah.
Covilhã. That's
Oh,
it.
one thing I don't think I told you yet, but I'm actually moving this year, so I'm leaving Macau.
Oh, you're living in Macau. Where
Oh,
you
you're
going?
Yeah, I'm
living, really?
I'm leaving Macau. Yeah, I've been here for like almost 30 years, so for me it's like I'm sick here already. It's very
Mm,
safe. It's very comfortable here, but I need something. So
mm.
I'm moving. I'm moving to Italy, by the way.
Oh, Italy.
Italy.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm learning Italian right now.
Oh,
Oh, pretty cool.
it's quite
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
it's quite easy from Portuguese. I lived in Bologna for 7 months.
Oh
I love Italy. Where are you going to live in Italy, or do you still don't know?
no, I'm going to Sicily.
Ah,
Oh,
Sicily.
Sicily. Oh,
Oh, they don't
it's
speak any
Far
the
English.
from
south.
yeah,
The
it's
south.
Yeah,
far from
no
yeah.
English, nothing.
Yes,
No, yeah,
I
just
know.
Italian.
That's why
Fully
I'm
Italian
learning
there.
Italian right
Yeah,
now.
that's cool for learning.
Ah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
ah, Italy.
Yeah.
I
So it
mean,
is you're going
I
to be close
love
to
the country.
Portugal.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
just
one
gonna be in
Ryanair
Europe.
flight, 20 euros. You're in
Mm-hmm.
Portugal.
Yeah.
I
It is.
know. Black Friday. Black Friday
Black Friday.
Yeah.
flights. Yeah.
Oh my God. Ah, that's amazing. Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, loved my
Right?
time there. Beautiful,
um,
beautiful, beautiful.
Amazing, Carolina. So we're unfortunately reaching the end of our podcast right now. It's been amazing. All this journey, about your culture, your background. Wow, that's one of the nicest episodes we had so far, for sure.
Thank you.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Fascinating.
fascinating and
It's
really
just like
still
mind blowing for
fascinating.
me.
Like,
Yeah,
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 for me as well. Wow, getting to know, a person that's very close to our culture, but at the same
Yeah.
time is not.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. So yeah, but before ending up in our episode, Guilherme wants to do the question he does every single episode. So feel free, buddy.
No worries. So, Carolina, what if I told you what is the thing that makes you the most proud about being from Macau, about being Macanese? What would you say?
Mm, wow. Let
Big
me.
Yeah, very
question.
deep, very deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, very deep.
like when you're with your Chinese friends or Cantonese friends, and when they come visit you and you say to them, "Oh, I'm from Macau, but I'm also like Macanese because I'm half Thai, half
Yeah.
you know
Mm,
Portuguese." What is the thing like that you say afterwards that kind of makes you like be proud of being from this such small country? What would you say?
mm, how? Actually, I don't know. I never thought of that. It's just that I am very glad that I can speak like different languages and to understand a lot of people's cultures and being really easy to read other people. For
Hmm.
example, uh, I mm, I need to think. I need to think of that. I don't
No,
No
no,
know.
worries,
I
no
never.
the
worries.
I
languages
never
is
really
good.
thought of that.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah,
reaching
but
a
I
nice
feel like.
point.
But I feel like. I feel like I'm really proud of the languages that I have learned throughout my whole life, and also the culture here in Macau. Um, Macau, Portugal, and then also China. That's three biggest culture all together. So I feel like that's one thing that I'm pretty proud of because I know part of Portugal, I know part of China, and also I'm half Thai, so I also know a little bit of Thai, and then basically everything in Macau.
No,
Yeah.
and,
Did I
and
answer
it's
your question?
absolutely, and
Yeah,
is as you
absolutely,
said, like
100%.
super useful to have all these languages with you. I mean, Mandarin, one of the biggest languages ever.
Mm-hmm.
You can, like go anywhere in China, in Taiwan, and everywhere.
Yes.
There's gonna be people that will speak Mandarin, Cantonese. Again, super important for Hong Kong, especially such a big, like
Mm-hmm.
important part of Asia. Portuguese, you have a Latin-based language. You can learn Italian. You're going to Italy, so you can learn it very
Yeah.
easily. Spanish, French, and then Thai. Thai is obviously a whole different language. Southeast Asia, a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's super cool because you can just again go to Thailand and negotiate with the vendors and eat for like
Yes.
10 cents.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
great. No,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
Fuck yeah,
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing. So
man.
Thank
yeah,
you.
my listeners, thank you so much for reaching until the end of this episode. It's been amazing, and once again, thank you so much, Carolina, for accepting the invitation and sharing your
Thank you.
amazing
No
story
worries.
with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
and
I'm really glad. Yeah.
of course, like as I said, mind blowing episode. I'm sure like everyone will just be also mind blown and fascinated with this episode because it's not ordinary. Again, Macau is not ordinary. Portuguese and
Mhm.
China mixed. Portugal, such a small country. That's why I'm like just crazy about this episode in this small country. We'll
Mhm.
have like kind of the same with Timor Leste because Timor Leste is also like another crazy
Yeah.
country, mix of Indonesian, a mix of Portugal. The language is
Yeah.
also kind of crazy. But yeah, to our listeners, thank you so much for reaching the end. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, of course, at Podcast WWP, Instagram, Facebook. Leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, guys.
Yeah.
Tell
Please,
us
guys,
what you
help us a
liked about this
lot.
episode. Give us the stars. Say it was mind blowing. That's the keyword. Just put mind blowing. I love that.
Hashtag mind blowing.
Hashtag mind blowing. And we will see you all next week with a brand new country and episode. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, dudes.
Bye.
Bye bye.